Welcome back to Dynamic Entry. It is I, the professional henchman, joined by my lovely brother, Benny here. Welcome back. Been a while, my man. How you been?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
Good and glad to have you. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of a battle of sorts, a bracket, a brawl, March Madness style. But we're going to be talking about Souls-like bosses. I know, weird, right? But we decided to put together a list of 16 competitors spanning across the Dark Souls series, a few from Bloodborne, a few from Sekiro, and maybe something like Lies of Pi. We'll just have to see as we get into it. And we went off vibes. You know, we took a look at these bosses, not for their difficulty, not for just the music, but how they are as a total package.
A little bit of personal preference in our own way.
Yeah, absolutely. But I like the list that we came up with. I think that there's some really like good picks in here and also some unexpected picks. So let's get into it. Let's see who we got. So starting off on the first bracket, we have the classic, the legendary Ornstein and Smo going up against the number 16th slot, Sir Alon.
Sir Alon. Sir Alone.
Yeah, Sir Alone, all alone in the past in his tower. So Ornstein and Smo are probably two of the most famous bosses in Dark Souls history, just because of like the bar of difficulty, I would say, right?
I would say so, yeah, for the time.
And they're a vibe. They are definitely a vibe. How you choose to go about that fight drastically changes how the fight plays out. If you kill Ornstein first, if you kill Smo first, right? But I don't know. I feel like after like the first, you kind of lose
just
luster.
Straight out the way though. I mean, there's two of them.
Yeah, it is a double fight. So you're already off kilter there. But I don't know. Compared to Sir Alon, like Sir Alon's arena is really cool. It's a simple arena, but like it's such a stark difference compared to the rest of the area that you find him in the second game's DLC, and he's just so damn cool. Like,
I mean, you were mentioning earlier too. You find Alon in the Ashen Tower.
Yes. So,
and everything's just covered in soot, ash. You walk into this man's arena and it's sparkling clean,
pristine and spotless, because his own code prevents him from just sitting idly by and doing nothing. It's crazy. Like, the build-up getting to the fight is really cool because you're not expecting to actually get into it initially. It's a secret boss fight. I think all in all, if I had to pick between the two, even though it's blasphemy against the classic and it's a boss fight from two, I prefer Sir Alon on this one. How you feeling?
I mean, I like the arena-wise, it's similar. They're both kind of like a cathedral setting. Ornstein and Smo and Orlando. They have the windows in the back. I think Ornstein and Smo kind of have like a little bit more of a warm lighting.
They got better music. They
do have better music for sure. Mm-hmm. The only thing for Alon is like it gives you a little bit something to work for because you have the no-hit special ending.
Yes, that's right.
Or if you can defeat Sir Alon without getting hit a single time, he will seppuku himself.
Yep. Instead of letting you kill him, he will maintain his honor and kill himself, which is crazy.
I'm gonna go with Sir Alon myself.
Yeah, so we're gonna go. Sir Alon is gonna advance. Ornstein and Smo, we know your classics, but we like to go against the grain here. Let's head over to the other side, looking at 2 and 15. Number 2, holy moly, we have Melania.
You know her, you love her.
The Blade of Mikola, up against Champion Gundyr. Ugh,
you don't know him as much, probably.
I love Champion Gundyr. Dark Souls 3, he's a boss in the Untended Graves. He's technically a runback, kind of.
Yes, because you fight him. He's the first one you fight in Dark Souls, but he's just Iudex Gundyr.
Yes.
Infected by a parasite, nasty.
Yeah, he's got the Pus of Man on him then, so he's not at full strength. But when you fight him as Champion Gundyr, he's throwing kicks, haymakers. He's fucking launching his whole body at you. I like him. Actually.
They're both a two-phase fight too, because Champion Gundyr, he gets the red eyes and immediately goes into the champion charge with the glaive.
Mm-hmm. But then Melania, to your point, if you manage to get past her first phase, she goes into her Aeolian Bloom and then becomes the Goddess of Rot, and then that's a whole other problem. You know what I mean? I think between both of their arenas, I do really like the simplicity of Gundyr's, because it's like the representation of a world gone dark, and we don't really get to see that a ton in Dark Souls, of like what happens if we fuck up and fail. But Melania's arena is beautiful. I love that.
Just for being like, considering her being the goddess of rot, the flowers everywhere still, the water in the middle kind of giving like a nice lighting effect off the floor.
The weird projection of Mikola's body in the tree.
Oh yeah.
Is yeah. I don't know. I like Gundyr better.
Gundyr brings this Chad energy that's like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Whereas Melania, Melania, it's the same way, especially in her second form. She kind of is like naked in her own way, which already is huge aura.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't let up.
See, right now you're leaning more towards Melania right now. I was kind of on board with you with Champion Gundyr because it's just the classic vibe.
I know. I'm
like,
sorry.
Again, it's just the Chad energy. This big beefy man coming at you, and he's moving way faster than you think he should.
He gives me the Rock Lee thing where it's like, you know what, man? You guys showed up with magic powers and demigod shit and bull. I'm just gonna kick you in the face.
My only thing for the Melania side is that like I love the colors. The Scarlet Aeonia on its own, that orangish red, the flowers all around it, like contrasting with the kind of pale background. It's hard for me to like give it to Gundyr in that sense though, because I really like. I'm a Dark Souls 3 guy. It was my biggest game. But
they're so different in their visuals.
Exactly.
It's a very bright game.
And it's all in all, Millennium was just like a harder fight. So I think I got a little bit more time to appreciate the arena because I was there for so much longer. So my vote, I was like, honestly, my vote is going to be Melania, unfortunately. I think it's the only one.
I'm not going to feel bad about that. That's fair. I love Gundyr, but I think Melania
it's not an easy choice to make for myself either.
Okay, so Melania. We advance. All right, moving on to number 3 and number 14. This one is actually all about difficulty. We're talking about Midir, the Eater of Darkness, going against Elmer, the Bell-bearing Hunter. Holy fuck.
So riding the wave of Night Rain, which I'm sure a lot of people are playing these days because, you know, it's kind of the fad right now.
Yeah.
Especially with the hard mode boss. Everybody knows about the Bell-bearing Hunter. He's not he is a night boss sometimes, but he
can be a night boss.
He can be found in certain cathedrals.
He's typically just like a day boss. Like he just shows up on you randomly. Like he runs your shit.
But everybody knows, anyone who plays Night Rain knows that 9 times out of 10, you're going to skip him.
You walk away.
He's going to take too much time, and he's going to kill you in one shot. But then
you have Midir.
It's different when it's you versus Midir, which is this giant dragon being consumed by the darkness.
It just sucks because like they both have this great like villainous energy about them. Like from what we talked about before the camera started rolling, like one great thing about Midir is like the idea of like finding this hero who's fallen into darkness that you need to put down to maintain his honor. Like you're assisting him in this, and it ends up being this like huge clash. But at the same time, Bell-bearing shows up, and people turn around and walk away. Alone.
You have to knowingly jump. And it's not even the first time with Midir you fight him. You fight him several times throughout the DLC, running to his boss door. You knock him into you were the one who knocks him into the pit where he is sleeping. When you jump down again,
that is kind of points against him because you kind of dom him there.
Multiple
times. Push him off a cliff.
Multiple times he shows up trying to intimidate you, and you still jump down there and are like, let's do this.
Then there's Elmer, who runs up on you randomly in Elden Ring.
Always.
Just beats the shit out of you in the middle of the night. Or in Night Rain, when you're in the middle of trying to get into the chapel or into the main fort to go get your free talisman after beating the underground boss there. Nope. Elmer. Half the time it's always him.
I'm almost leaning towards the Bell-bearing Hunter because, like you said, people run from him. They leave.
There's a visceral reaction to him being there.
You see him and you go, nope.
Yeah.
I'm always leaning towards the Bell-bearing Hunter. One, because it's funny. Two, the biggest reason is just you run away from him. You don't run away from Midir.
I'm going to call
Keep
it,
putting it down. We're doing it.
I'm going to call it. We're calling Bell-bearing Hunter on this one. I love Midir. Dark Eater Midir is one of my favorites, but literally, this guy is like run on sight. Let's move on. So now we're going to be looking at number 4 and number 13. This one, a pair of shrouded swordsmen, 2 of my favorite in the series. We're talking about the wolf and the lion, my friend. In the number 4 slot, we have Malekith, the holder of Destined Death, going up against Artorias, the knight who fell to the abyss. This is
the abyss.
Man. Of all the fights, These are two of my favorites, just as far as like just the total package, like the arena in which you fight them, the build-up that leads to it, the actual fight itself, the great swords that you get after it, because I'm a slut for great swords. I will always use them. Like, both characters are referenced in some regard throughout the entirety of their game. And it's not until you, in the case of Artorias, get to the DLC, and in the case of Malekith, effectively get to the quote-unquote hidden area going towards the end of the game, that you actually get to deal with them. And by then, they're like built up as legends.
Very similar. They're very similar in their own rights. Like I said, swordsman. You have the Colosseum style arena. Malekith's arguably very bigger, way bigger.
Fuck, man, his color palette is gorgeous. The red and black aura energy of Destined Death with the obsidian blade,
and the gold
gorgeous.
Trim too.
With the gold trim.
But then you have Artorias, so it's like same thing. He's like he fell into this abyss, so he kind of gives off like the not raggedy vibe, but it's just like
like he's worn and tattered. Like he is truly a victim of that situation and of the fall of Ulasil. But then you have Malekith, who is the fucking martyr, sacrificing himself, holding death back from the universe, and basically fighting anyone who comes after it. And it's not until you come and take it from him that someone manages. Ah, man.
And it's hard too, because then you have Garank, who is the first phase, the beast clergyman.
Yeah,
you're helping the entire time, feeding him death root.
It feels like a betrayal.
It almost does.
Yeah. I know Artorias is a big deal, and we've already shot Ornstein and Smo in the face. I'm gonna stand on business for the Lion, bro.
I think I almost have to give it to Malekith as well, just based off vibes, and that's what we're here for, people.
Speaking of lions, let's talk about another one of your favorites. In the number 5 slot, we have the Dancing Lion.
Ooh.
Going up against another Master of the Air, though this might be a little one-sided. The Nameless King. You might hate us. I think that these fights have comparable vibes.
Very. Storm.
The storms. There's like a kind of a grandiose nature to it, like the prayer that leads into the Dancing Lion, like dancers being revived and like coming to. But then the Nameless King is like the super version of Artorias and Malekith. Because we've heard about this guy for 3 fucking games.
Yep.
By the time he finally shows up.
I honestly, personally, I think the arena leaves more, like, it leaves me wanting more. I mean, it's great. You're standing on just storm, clouds. Like, there are pillars around.
I like the dancing arena better.
The King of the Storms does kind of break the pillars down, so you're just fighting in kind of this empty space.
Yeah.
Which I get. I really like it. And again, he just comes flying. You're like, what am I doing here? Comes flying in on this big, and it looks different than dragon. It's feathered almost.
Yeah, it's this big feathered creature with these crooked horns. It looks like a big ass bird.
And you just see this skeleton-looking man with a big sword spear covered in lightning coming at you.
Then he does the ONS thing when he dies. He fucking stabs him and absorbs his essence, and then he's there.
They just love doing that. And it's a hard one too, because the transition for the dance line on its own, like going into the storm powers, the electricity, the
frost.
cold.
And then there's that Deathblight one.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the music is probably one of the best tracks of any Souls game ever.
Those drums go nuts.
It goes crazy.
Fucking track.
It's a hard one because they are similar in their own rights. I almost don't want to give it to another Elden Ring boss, but Dancing Lion, in my opinion, is just overall it's a little bit better.
Like if we were talking about just difficulty, I feel like it could go to the Nameless King. I think with that in mind, we should do Nameless.
Give it to Nameless. Something more dear to our hearts.
The arena is probably... It's simple, but it is one of the coolest arenas.
I mean, you're fighting on storm clouds.
Yeah. Alright, I can live with it. Next up, we have 2 men plagued with nightmares on this one. Number 6, we have Ludwig, the Accursed and Holy Blade, as well as number 11, personal favorite here, the Pursuer. That's not the one I would want to do on vibes. That's not the vibe matchup I want to do, because you know who's getting it. But I really, just even if he doesn't win it, I really like the Pursuer as a whole. He's not the most difficult boss in the world. but he shows up and shows out immediately when you first run into him in the Forest of Fallen Giants. He hunts you down, him and his
multiple times.
Subsequent group of knights.
Multiple times.
His armor is one of the best looking armors we never get.
Never.
I would love that chest plate. If we got just the chest plate. Anyway, yeah, if we're talking vibes, the first knight is the guy. He's the guy.
Straight up is. Ludwig, I mean, you walk in, at first, he's not even, I think he's up in the sky.
Yeah, he's hanging on the ceiling.
Yeah, he's hanging on the ceiling.
He's hanging on the fucking ceiling.
You're like, why? You walk in, and the skeleton is sitting there like...
And then you see hundreds of eyes looking back at you from inside of his mouth, and fingers and shit moving all over his body. And he's just laughing madly. His big horse face. Ludwig's a perfect fight.
The fan favorite of the Moonlight Blades through all the Souls game. It's in every single Souls game.
I have that Moonlight Blade. Do you see this thing? Do you see this beautiful marvel? The most gorgeous of the Moonlight Swords. Like, the fucking engravings all along its edge, that thick blade, the gorgeous handlework. I mean, mine's not fully painted, mind you, but even as a replica, how could you argue? This is fucking... Oh.
I'm just gonna stay here.
But between the two of them...
You didn't see that.
But between the two of them, I gotta give it to Ludwig. I love the guy.
I'm moving off camera for
I'm
a second.
biased here, but...
I will also give it to Ludwig as I move this out of the way.
We're moving on. Next up, kind of a random one. These two, I would want to see these guys actually duke it out. I feel like this would be a cool fight. So for the number 7, we have Arlecchino from Lies of Pi Overturn.
The Blood Artist.
Yep. Against Gascoigne.
Father Gascoigne.
Oh, man. So you've been playing Lies of Pi.
I have recently been playing Lies of Pi.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's got everything, right? Like if we were ever to have like a close second to Bloodborne from a vibe standpoint, aesthetically, that's pretty good.
Lies of P.
That's
Straight
pretty
up.
good. And Arlecchino's fucking, oh my god, fresh nasty.
The fight on its own, it kind of gives off its own Millennia vibes too, because you fight him in this first kind of like normal stance. You walk in, he's a psycho. He's a serial killer puppet, broken multiple times and put back together because people think they're like, oh wow, this guy's really cool. I wanna research him. Only to find out that he likes killing.
The Arlecchino boss fight alone has convinced me I need to buy and beat this whole fucking game.
Like mid-fight cutscenes where you're doing these like special like combo attacks with Leia, who was the partner you were with at the time, the legendary stalker, and then moving into the second phase on its own.
That transition to his puppet mode?
He just burns his own clothes and skin off, gets these arm blades, these hand blades.
Fucking the cyberpunk mantis arms.
But
then he gets the saw blades.
The buzzsaws.
But then you have the tragic hunter himself.
Father Gascoigne. Father?
What a complete story. Like, you meet one of his 2 daughters who lets you know that the other sister isn't home yet and she's getting worried because mom and dad are still gone too. The hunt has been called and they need to get back or shit's going to get bad. So what do? Do you decide to help this child figure out what's going on with her family, or go your own way, focus on the hunt? Regardless of that decision, you do eventually come face to face with your senior, Father Gascoigne. And he was a tough ass time those first 15 or 16 hours when the game first released. Like, he was a wall.
I mean, yeah, you're refreshing. He's like the second boss you fight.
Yeah.
And you walk in, he's just kind of mushing.
Hacking away at bodies.
And this is the man who's a hunter. He was for the humanity, trying to stave off the eldritch beasts of Bloodborne.
Fucking became one himself, soaked in blood. But as you explore his boss arena, like, you find his wife, you find the music, you could use the music box on him, which connects to his story, but then that connects, like, there's so much ingrained in the first section of Bloodborne that helps to build up this almost like mythos about him before you get to him. And then seeing him go from his first to second phase where he like extends the axe and goes kind of nuts, into his full-blown beast form, and phase 3 is like...
In terms of arena, I give it to Gascoigne.
I do like Gascoigne's arena better than Arlecchino's.
I do like the pool of blood covering the snow with Arlecchino is a nice contrast
It's
of
so
color.
simple.
With Gascoigne, you're in this dark graveyard surrounded by stones. Everything's kind of like miscued because you figure he's,
It can get you killed.
It can.
It can get you killed really fast.
Based off vibes, I give it to Arlecchino because he's just a psycho, human puppet that has just been on a murder spree, and you want nothing more than to just kill him.
Yep. I'm going to go with that as well, but I would say I'd love to see these guys actually duke it out.
Absolutely.
I think that'd be an interesting time.
So we're giving it to Arlecchino?
We're going to give it to Arlecchino as we move on to the final of the first set of brackets. This last one is a tough one because I think vibe-wise, these are both fucking monsters. For number 8, we have chosen what I think is arguably the craziest of all the fights in Night Rain, Libra. Going up against the number 9 spot, the Sword Saint Ishin from Sekiro, the old man himself.
Let me preface this by saying I have not played much of Sekiro. I admittedly suck at that game and could not figure out, still not to this day, cannot figure out how to progress in that game.
It is a learning curve. I had a lot of difficulty playing the game, and I will say of all the Souls-like games, it's the one I don't go back to. It was kind of like, I'm out now. I'm okay. I'm gonna go.
I will also preface this by saying we play a lot of Night Rain, and Libra is the one fight that we don't do.
We dread Libra.
While we love madness, we also hate madness.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of it.
But then at the same time, you're standing in that field, and the reeds flowing back and forth in the darkness, storms firing off in the distance, and there he stands, Ishin Ashina, fucking Lord himself, ready to go. You run left or right to strafe, he's following you. You try to pursue him, he's on top of you. You go sword for sword with this guy, and he clashes you every step of the way. While Libra pressures you with his sheer aggression, Ishin is all skill. All skill. You fuck anything up there, he will punish you for it. You have to be on your top game the whole time.
Arena-wise, and just vibes, I would give it to Ishin, even though I've never actually fought him myself. But again, we're basing this off vibes. They're not per se fighting. Mm-hmm. Straight vibes, I'm gonna have to give it to Ishin, and also because I hate Libra in his own sense.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. I think Libra, of all the vibe-based ones from Night Rain, definitely had the best chance. That was just a bad guy to get stuck with. All right, so coming back to the middle, we're going to go a little faster here. This brings us back to the top with Elden and Bellberry. Ooh. We're talking about the Honored Warrior and the Demon himself.
Again, it's hard not to give it to the Bellberry Hunter. But Elden is just like his own special kind of fighter. His weapon, especially, it's a hard one for me as well.
I think we got to give it to BBH.
I think we also have to give it to BBH.
Yep. Yeah, Elden is a great guy. It's an awesome fight. I think the fact that he does seppuku to not die to you if you perfect him is fucking hilarious. BBH is a bastard.
And anyone who's played Elden Ring knows that using the Mirai sword that he uses, that thorn sword, which
so strong.
It's almost like a lightsaber in its own way. He throws it out and hits you from so far away when he should not be able to.
Yeah. And if we're talking vibes, like that is probably the craziest thing. Like one of the coolest things Ishin has is the huge jump or like the eye slash.
Yes.
Bellbearing is doing Jedi mind tricks on you.
Straight up.
Yep. So BBH. All right. That brings us up to number 2 and number 4. We have Melania and Malekith.
2 shard bearers.
That's a tough
on the
one.
Ring of Elden.
That's a tough one. They're both 2-phasers. They're both sword users. They both have very powerful powers. One has rot, the other has destined death. Who's got the cooler
The
vibes?
power of death and the power of the scarlet rot.
I don't like ants. I don't think ants are a vibe.
I don't think ants survive either. If you think about it too, Malekith controls death, whereas Melania controls the scarlet rot. Mm-hmm. The scarlet rot didn't even stop her dawn.
No. Everyone got stopped by destined death. That's why I had to be locked up and removed from the concept of reality.
And then by you defeating Malekith and taking destined death,
you reinstall the concept of death into the universe.
Which in its own right is so much more.
That's Malekith. That's a Malekith. Sorry, Melania. Not really.
No, not really.
That brings us to another crazy matchup: Nameless versus Arlecchino.
The King of Murder versus the King of the Storms.
I know what my answer is. I'm going to tell you what it is. I don't know if you agree with me.
We'll see.
I think it's Arlecchino.
It's hard to see him not being able to.
He's so saucy.
He's not going to be
so saucy
to kill this dragon. Like, the dragon is not even the hard part of the entire fight either. It's the name is King. I feel like it's the name is King himself.
It's just the waves. The waves and like the lunge are the hardest part.
Absolutely. Otherwise, like, I don't think Arlecchino himself does like a fiery effect, but like just the movement on his own, I just don't think the Nameless King can keep up.
No, Arlecchino's so fast. It's a faster game, but Arlecchino is just he moves deadly, looks deadly. Nameless King's looking a little scruffy.
I think the Nameless King has a bit too much honor to keep up with Arlecchino, who is just this murder-crazed puppet.
We're yapping on this one, but I'm going to call Arlecchino. I think we're both in agreement on that.
It's hard to not yap about this man.
I love it.
There's so much
He's
vibe.
so
He's
swaggy.
so much aura.
Dude. He's so swaggy. All right, that brings us up to Ludwig and Ishin, the two masters.
Two masters.
The best of the best.
The man of the Holy Blade and the man of the Samurai Blade.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I think that they are disgustingly vibe-worthy, both of them. I think Ludwig has one of the coolest boss transitions ever. Because usually it's like, boss is in control, boss loses control. It is almost never, you're fighting a monster, the monster regains its humanity, and faces you as a knight.
Because it's almost the same reverse with Ishin. He becomes this normal samurai, and then as he resurrects more and more, he becomes more of this monster-type person.
Yeah, and then by the time he finally comes back from hell, he's just fed up.
Because again, it goes back to also like the Moonlight Blade. The Holy Moonlight Blade, again, one of the most beautiful weapons in the game. And then you have the transition of Ishin going from one sword and spear, and then just whipping out the wind and lightning.
Yeah.
In its own right.
Really
It's
cool.
so... It just brings its own intensity to it. Where,
The arena for Ishin is so much cooler. I'm sorry. I know that's a bad thing to say, maybe. But
I mean, it's one thing to fight in a pool of whatever Ludwig
blood.
is in.
Yeah, just blood and bones.
And then...
It's just the field with the storm. And then you're like, oh, the storm is just an effect. And then he starts throwing it at you. Fuck, man.
I almost have to give it to Ishin.
Let's do it. I will agree to it. That brings us to the semis. Bell-bearing Hunter versus Arlecchino.
Two kings of murder.
Absolute bastards. Two kings of murder. I know BBH is a villain. But I don't think he stacks up.
I just don't know. I don't know enough about the Bellbearing Hunter to have someone meet up with that pure bloodlust murder spree that Arlecchino goes on, and that's all he's about. He's only about murder. So in their own right, they both just have this murderous. I'll say it again. Aura about them.
I think we're dancing around it. We just got to do it.
Put it down.
Arlecchino advances, dude.
The wild card.
Yeah, he definitely was the wild card, but
He was a late entry.
just looking at everything and then watching the boss fights, because that's been one of the more recent boss fights that we've been seeing too. Is just like, oh my god, it just looks so good. Like, I'm telling you, it sold me on the whole fucking game on its own. Last of the semifinals, Malekith, the Black Blade, versus the Sword Saint Ishin Ashina.
The hard one about that is that you beat Ishin as a normal person.
Couple times.
And he keeps coming back. Malekith also has control over death and death. Just based off vibes alone, I still give it to Malekith.
Shadowy protector of a god, or man too angry to die.
Especially just going based off vibes. Like, it's one thing to be too angry to die. Whereas, like, just overall, the Malekith fight on its own and just his design is it's top tier.
Ashina is very simple. Like, it's not... Sekiro in itself does have some really cool designs. Like, don't get me wrong. But he is one of the more, like, traditional, down-to-earth, relaxed designs. Like, his most bombastic design is the Kabuto with his robe.
Yeah.
And that's,
fully dressed.
It's literally just him in his bathrobe with a cool helmet.
And it's hard. You look at Malekith, where it's, yes, this is black, red, and gold.
Hiding under the robes as they burn away as the fucking gilded armor. Ugh.
You know where we're going.
I'm making a call.
We're making a call.
We sit here at the finals. The King of Death versus the Holder of Death. Arlecchino, bloodied and white blood artist.
The blood artist.
Versus Malekith,
The
Black
destined
Blade.
death.
You know, both games, as we mentioned, create a sort of like legend or mythos about the character or about what they are involved with ahead of time. One of the first things we learned is that Marika, the goddess of Elden Ring, who is perpetuating some of the events, removed the concept of death from the world and gave it to her boy Malekith to look after.
Watch this.
Look after that. Arlecchino's crazy.
He woke up and said,
I choose violence.
I'm going to murder everybody.
From a motivation standpoint, Arlecchino starts to fall flat. Because there's not really much more outside of, I kill because it's fun.
We get it. You know, it's like, it's an art form to you. But yeah, it's like, at what point, yeah, does it just kind of plateau?
At what point does it become Roberto from Futurama?
Exactly.
Don't stab me. Ha! Ha! You know what I mean? Like,
that's all it is. A robot built for murder.
do we declare him the swaggiest? Do we declare him the greatest vibe? I think so.
I don't think there was competition at the very beginning.
Not really. He's definitely like one of my favorites as a whole. I think that anytime they do bosses like this, they're very cool because there's a hidden element to it that we're a part of the whole time. In that we're like actively participating if we choose to with like giving Deathroot, befriending Garronk, helping him not go crazy as he's consuming death and bringing it back to himself. And then at the end, that makes everything so much more important because it's like, oh no, not only did I help bring death back together, I now have to kill one of like my
I'm
master.
going to rip it from you.
I have to rip it out of the hands of my master
and put it back into the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have our pick. Arlecchino goes down to Malekith, the great lion himself, the Black Blade. Yeah, I'd say overall that's our pick. I feel good about it. I feel good about this.
Tell us why we're wrong.
Yeah, fight with us down in the comments. Let us know. Did we pick the wrong boss? Are there cooler bosses? Or maybe some vibes that we missed out on?
Again, these are our personal preferences in their own way.
I'd still be down to hear about stuff from Lords of the Fallen, Black Myth Wukong. We love Neo, both as a whole. We just didn't pick anything from Neo ourselves.
Wolong.
Yeah.
Haven't played that yet. Seen some stuff, really good. Yeah. Tell us why we're wrong. Trust me, there's a lot we had to cut out.
We cut out a ton of bosses. We put a lot of Elden Ring bosses in, but there was a lot of Elden Ring bosses.
They did great with it, right?
They did
a great job.
Yeah. So that's going to be us. Thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate that. We also have a ton of other videos in our catalog if you'd like to check those out, and a bunch of other great stuff in great spaces and great places, like our TikTok, our Instagram, and any other social media platforms linked down below in the description. Also, make sure to like and share and give us a follow if you haven't, because that helps us get things through on the old algae. We appreciate it, and thanks as always.